Welcome back to Pilates by Brianna. Today's workout will be another intermediate to advanced level class. We will be doing some balancing, some unilateral arm work, lunges, all fun things. I have my balance body machine set up for footwork, so 3 heavy reds, 1 medium blue. Headrest will be down to start. I also already have my box set up for when I use it later. So if I'm facing the foot bar, it's on the left-hand side, even with the carriage. This workout will be about 30-35 minutes. I like to keep it around that time. It'll be a full body workout. And so go ahead and get everything set up, and I will meet you on the reformer.
Come to lay down on your backs, placing the heels on the bar. You're going to find your neutral pelvis, neutral spine, and take a moment to settle in here. Just take note of how you're feeling today. Take a breath to center yourself. Nice long inhale and exhale. And then when you're ready, your feet will be flexed towards you. Push through the heels and begin pressing the carriage out and in. Finding a connection from your heels all the way up to the glutes. Feet are parallel to one another, knees are parallel so they're not collapsing in or bowing out. Exhale to press the carriage out. Inhale, bring the carriage back in. Finding some warmth in the legs. We'll press out one more time and then come halfway in for little pulses, pressing the carriage up an inch, down an inch. You're pretty close to the stopper to get more feeling into the legs. And we're not bouncing here, we're controlling the movements of the springs with the legs. Exhale, press all the way out. Inhale, bring it on in. Heels will stay on the bar. We're going to go into bridging. Inhale to prepare. Exhale to tuck the tailbone as you peel the spine up off the carriage, one vertebrae at a time. Inhale at the top, and then exhale to roll back down. Nice controlled motions. Again, your legs are staying parallel to one another. As you lift the hips up into your bridge position, you're trying to keep the hips level, so working equally throughout both legs. Hands are down by your side. If you want to make it more challenging, you can always bring the arms up towards the ceiling. We'll do a few more bridges, focusing on your breath and that articulation of the spine and just how your body is feeling overall. Next time the hips are back on the carriage, we will pause here. You'll put the toes on the bar, high heel position. Keep the heels elevated as you begin pressing the carriage out and in. Exhale to press out. Inhale, control the carriage back in, trying to keep the heels as lifted as you can throughout. So we're going to feel this more in our quads, the front of the thighs, as well as into the calves. Two more. On this last one, you'll press out, and then we'll come halfway in again for those pulses. Trying not to bounce, controlling it up an inch, down an inch, using your legs to control it. Almost there, feeling that in the quads. Exhale to press all the way out. Inhale will bring you back in. We'll keep the toes on the bar. We're going to do a round of bridges here. This will be more of a hinge. So instead of rolling through the pelvis, you're just lifting the hips straight up, lower down, tap your butt on the carriage, and then lift straight up again. We're going for about 8. Last time, we'll lift up, lower down. Good work. Heels will go wide on the bar. Hips will be externally rotated, so knees are wider than your shoulders. Feet are flexed towards you. Begin pressing into the heels as you press the carriage out and in here, keeping the knees wider than your shoulders. Press all the way out. Bring the carriage halfway in, and you have your pulses here. Exhale to push the carriage all the way out, and then bring it on in. Keep the feet where they are. Knees will stay wider than the shoulders. Last round of bridges. Tuck the tailbone as you lift the hips up on your exhale. Inhale at the top. Exhale to roll on down. Going for about 8 repetitions. Keeping the hips externally rotated. Really feeling the work in the glutes with this variation. And we'll make this one the last one. When the hips are back on the carriage, put the toes back center on the bar. Come into your Pilates V, heels together, toes apart. We'll press the carriage out here. Stay out for our heel raises. Maintain that heel connection as you lower the heels underneath the bar. And then using the calves, you'll lift the heels all the way up. Zipping up through the inner thighs, finding a nice line through the center of your body. Two more. Lower the heels down, lift them up. Last one, keeping the heels together, raise it back up, and then you'll bring the feet to parallel to one another. Bend one knee, let the opposite heel drop. You should feel a stretch in the straight leg. We'll hang out here for a few breaths. And then go ahead and switch. So you'll get the stretch in that second leg. And then you can straighten both knees, bend them, and then come back in. Come on up off the carriage. I'm going to do a roll up to come up. So my legs are draped over the bar as I roll all the way up to sitting, but you can also lay to your side and get up that way. You're going to take off all your springs except for one medium blue spring. So you're left with one medium blue. Come to kneeling on the carriage facing the risers, and your knees are about halfway up on the carriage. Grab hold of the right strap, holding onto the tape, and we're going to do unilateral chest expansion. So nice and tall. You're going to pull that right arm back, squeezing around the shoulder blades, and then control it forward. You're using your core, the thighs, the glutes to help stabilize. Working the back of the arm, our posterior muscles, to pull the arm back and control it forward. Last one here. And then grab hold onto your short loop. You're going to extend the arm out in front of you. Left hand can go underneath your elbow for bicep curls. Bend the elbow, pulling the strap in towards you, and then straighten the elbow all the way out to full extension. You're trying to keep the elbow in line with the shoulder best that you can to work the bicep muscles as it crosses the elbow joint and the shoulder joint. Two more to go. This will be your last one. And then we're going to go into triceps. So left hand can go onto the shoulder block. You're going to sit back towards your hips. Pull the right arm in line with the body. Hold it there and then bend the elbow and straighten the elbow. You can keep that left arm on the shoulder block or put it behind your back for more of a balance and more work through the thighs. You're keeping the upper arm in line with the body as you bend the elbow, straighten the elbow, working the back part of the shoulder. Last one. and then you can hang up the strap. Come to lay on your left side. The left arm is going to go behind the shoulder blocks. You'll be propped up on that shoulder, lifted through that left oblique. Your right foot will come to the bar. Looking to face the bar, we're going to go into jumps. So with that top leg, you're going to jump out and then land softly on the balls of your foot. So jumping out, landing softly. As you jump out, try to keep the leg in line with the body so it's not dropping at all. We're working into our hip abductors, the outer thighs, to keep the leg in line with the body and in line with the bar. Last jump like this, bring it in, and then we're going to add in a kick up towards the ceiling, just a little kick. So you'll jump out, little kick, and land softly. Jump out, little kick, and land softly. Staying lifted through that left oblique. And last one, and bring the carriage in. Come to kneeling. We're going to go into some inner thigh work, so a lighter spring will be more challenging on the inner thigh. I'm going down to my lightest spring, which is a yellow, and taking off the blue. You're going to put your right foot in the corner of the box in front of you. Left leg, you're on your shin, the toes are tucked. You're externally rotated in the right hip, so the toes are in the corner of the box. Keeping that right knee bent, you're going to press the carriage out with the left leg. Use the inner thighs to pull it on in. Once the carriage is in at the stopper, you'll bring the right foot to parallel and then come up to standing. Try not to let the carriage move. Lower back down, externally rotate that right leg to press out. Bring the carriage in, bring the right foot to parallel, and stand up using that right glute. So we're going through that sequence. I like the changing of direction of the leg because it's safer for you, but also because it really makes you take your time. So you can't rush this. You're focusing on form. So you're pressing out, inner thighs will bring you back in, rotate that front leg, and then use that right glute to come up to standing and slowly lower back down. So inner thighs, but also right glute work. Last round, press the carriage out, bring it in, bring that right foot to parallel, stand up, and then come halfway down, little lunges, little pulses. So pulsing into that right thigh, nice and controlled, not bouncing, keeping the carriage pulled all the way into the stopper. Almost there, stand all the way up, and then lower back down. Both knees will come to the carriage. Your hands are going to go the corner of the box towards the foot bar. Feet will be pressed up against the shoulder block, and the right leg will cross over the left. Lift the hips up into a pike, and then press back out to plank. So lifting the hips up to a pike and pressing back out to a plank. Lots of core here. And for this one, yellow spring will be more challenging, so if you need assistance, you'll put on your medium spring. Two more times, looking good, stay strong. This will be our last one. Lift up to pike, press out to plank, and then bend the knees and bring the carriage in. Knees will come to the carriage. Put on a medium blue spring, take off the light yellow, step off towards the box. You're going to pick up the strap. Holding onto the strap with the left hand, you'll have the left foot on the box. We're going to start with a row. So facing the risers, you're just going to bend the elbow as you pull the carriage out, squeezing around the shoulder blades, doing your row. Elbow stays close in, tucked into your side. Standing up nice and tall, chin is parallel to the ground, neck is relaxed. Last time. And then we'll go into some balancing and some glute work. That left glute will bring you back up onto the box, tip forward, right leg will go behind you, come to upright, and then that right leg will land back on the ground. So we're doing a balancing and glute set here. Strap is still in that left leg, and you're only tipping forward as far as you feel comfortable. So think warrior 3 in yoga, but a little bit of balance because the box is soft, so it's going to, you're going to feel it a little bit more in the ankle stabilizers and throughout that leg. Using that left glute to bring you up, keeping the spine straight as you tilt forward, landing softly. If this does not work for your balance, instead of tipping forward, you'll stay upright and bring that right knee forward into a march. Last time like this. And then we're going to put that together. So you'll do one row, and then you'll step up into that balancing. One row, and step up into that balancing. And we'll keep alternating here about 10 rounds. And one more time through. And then you can step forward, hang up that strap. And we'll put this short box on, right up against the shoulder blocks. We're going to stay on that medium blue spring and work into our back extensors. Come to lay on the box. You'll be laying on your stomach. You're going to have the hip joints off the back end of the box. Walk your way up the frame to the risers and then bend the knees, heels together, toes apart. So we're in like a frog position. And we'll do pull-ups here. So you're going to pull the carriage towards the risers and then control it back. Spine is in neutral to start. As you pull on the risers, you're thinking of drawing the shoulder blades down the spine. So we're working into the lats, the big muscles underneath your arms. That's where the focus of your muscle should be. Last pull up here. And then we're going to work into more of the back extensors. So pull up, stay up. You're going to lower the knees towards the carriage and then use the glutes and your back extensors to raise the legs back up. You're still pressing the heels into each other to get some inner thigh work, bending the hips, letting the knees fall to the carriage, and then working the back body to lift the legs up. Last time. And then we'll put that together. So extend the elbows, and then you'll do a pull-up, pause, lower the legs, lift the legs, and extend the elbows. You'll do that pull-up, pause, lower lift of the legs, extend the elbows. 8 more rounds. 2 more to go. Strong through the glutes. Last one. And then once you're done there, hands will go to the frame. Carefully walk your way back. Be careful of the foot bar. Once the carriage is in at the stopper, you can come up on your knees. Forearms will go to the box and round through the spine. So think cat position. And you can alternate between cat position and neutral spine. Don't go into cow. You want to stay more flexed and neutral just after that extension work that we did, getting a little stretch throughout the low back. And then come on up off to your left, and we'll put the box next to the carriage, and we've got that set to do on the second side. So come to kneeling on the carriage. Knees are about halfway up on the carriage. Pick up the left strap in the left hand, holding onto the tape, kneeling up nice and tall, and we've got our chest expansion here. Pulling the arm straight back, squeezing around the shoulder blades, and then controlling the arm forward. Two more to go. Last one. And then we'll go down to the short loop. Arm will extend out in front of you. Right hand can go underneath the elbow. And we'll go into our bicep curls. Bending the elbow, pulling the strap in towards you, and then going all the way out to full elbow extension. We want to go through the entire range of motion. Try to keep the elbow in line with the shoulder best that you can. And you're looking straight ahead. You're still strong through the core and the legs to be in a nice, tall, upright, kneeling position. Last one. And then you're going to sit back towards the heels. Right hand can come to the shoulder block, and we'll do our triceps. Pull the arm back, hold it there, bend the elbow, and straighten the elbow. You have the option of bringing the right hand behind your back for more of a balance and stability work throughout the legs and the core. Working the back of our shoulders here, our tricep muscles, bending the elbow, straighten the elbow, forearm stays in line with the body. Spine is straight if you're taking the balancing option. Last one. And then you can hang up the strap. Come to lay on your right side. Your right forearm will be propped up behind the shoulder blocks. You're lifted through that right oblique, left foot on the bar, and we have our jumps. Looking at the bar, you're going to jump out, land softly on the balls of your feet, and control the carriage back in. As you jump out, you're keeping the leg in line with the body, so trying not to let it fall down, so using the outer thighs to achieve that. Last time, bring the carriage in, pause, and then we're going to add in that kick up towards the ceiling. So now we'll jump out, little kick towards the ceiling, and then land softly. When you kick out, try to keep the foot parallel to the ground so toes are facing forward, not towards the ceiling. It's going to be a small movement. Last time here, and then bring the carriage on in. Come on up. We're going to put on your lightest spring, so one yellow spring, take off the medium blue, and we have the inner thigh work. Come to kneeling. You'll place the left foot on the box. Hip will be externally rotated so the toes are facing the corner. Right shin is on the carriage, right toes are tucked. Keeping that left knee bent, you'll press the carriage out with the right leg, pull it back in all the way to the stopper, and then use that left glute to come up to standing and lower down. Externally rotate to press out, bring the carriage all the way in, bring the left foot to parallel, and come up to standing. So taking our time here, really focusing on changing the position of that left leg from external rotation as you press out to forward as you stand to help protect the knee joint. Three more left, feeling the inner thighs working and that left glute working. Two more. Last one. Press the carriage out, bring it all the way into the stopper, change the foot position, come up, and then come halfway down, and we have our pulses. So pulsing into that left glute, legs are both facing forward, little pulses here, keeping the carriage in at the stopper, and then stand all the way up and lower back down. Both knees will come to the carriage, hands are going to go on the box, the back end of the box, press the legs out into plank, cross the left ankle over the right, and we've got our pikes. You're going to bring the carriage in as you lift the hips up towards the ceiling, working into the deep abdominals, and then press back out to plank. As you lift up, your head is going to go through the shoulders and then back out in line with the body as you press out to plank. We're going for about 10 of these. Last time. And then once you're back in plank, you could bend the knees, bring the carriage in, and rest down. Change the spring back to one medium blue, take off the light yellow. Step on off towards the box side of the reformer. We'll pick up the strap closest to you. That'll go in the right hand. Right foot will go on the box. The left foot is on the ground behind it. And we've got our rows. I'm on my long loop. You're going to bend the elbow towards your side as you do a row, and then control it back out. Spine is nice and straight, chin is parallel to the ground. Elbow stays close tucked in as you pull back, working around that shoulder blade. Last row. And then we have our balancing. So using that right glute, you'll come up to standing onto the box. You're going to tip forward. Left leg will shoot out behind you. And then left leg will come back to the ground as you land softly. You're only tipping forward as far as you feel comfortable, keeping the spine straight. If you're not comfortable tipping forward, then instead you can do a march with that left leg. And that way you can stay in an upright position. We're working all of our stabilizers of the right leg from the ankles all the way up to the hip. Last one. And then we're going to alternate that. So you're going to do one row, and then you'll step up onto the box and one of the balance. So alternating one row and then one balance. 10 rounds. And this will be our last round. 1 row, and then use that right glute to step up onto the box and tip forward. And then you can hang up the strap. I'm just pulling my box out of the way, and we're going to finish with feet and straps. I'm going to put on 2 heavy red springs, but you can also do a red and a medium, or a heavy and a medium. Come to lay on your backs and put the feet through the long loop. Feet will go up towards the ceiling, legs are parallel, and together we'll start with double leg bicycle. Keep the knee straight as you lower down, bend the knees into the chest, and then they'll straighten up towards the ceiling. They'll stay straight as you lower, knees into the chest, and then up towards the ceiling. This should feel pretty good on the low back. One more in this direction. And then when the legs are overhead, we'll reverse. Bend the knees, use the glutes to press out over the bar, and then keep the legs straight as they go overhead. Bend the knees, press out, and then back to overhead. Last time around. And then when the legs are overhead, we'll pause, and we're going to go into hip circles. Keep the legs together as you lower them down. Bring them away from each other, around and back up towards the ceiling. Nice big hip circles. One more time around. And then we'll reverse the direction. Open the legs away from each other, circle them around and down, and then back up through center. Last time around. And then when the legs are back overhead, you'll bend the left knee. Grab hold onto the strap of the straight leg, the right leg, pull it towards you, have that foot flex towards you to get a stretch to the whole back part of the leg. And then we'll switch, bend the right knee, left leg will extend overhead. Pull on the strap of the left leg, foot is flexed towards you, stretching into the calf and the hamstrings. And then we'll bend both knees, bottoms of the feet will come together, and we'll finish in a butterfly stretch. Knees will open wide, just getting a little stretch through the inner thighs. And then you can take your feet out of the straps and you are all set. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed the workout. If you did, please make sure to share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.